Hi, brand new details about the suspect in that deadly terror attack that happened in London yesterday. Just moments ago, Prime Minister Theresa May said this about the attacker.
His identity is known to the police and MI5, and when operational considerations allow, he will be publicly identified. What I can confirm is that the man was British-born and that some years ago he was once investigated by MI5 in relation to concerns about violent extremism.
And was it because of his travels or what he said or where he was logged on? And the question this morning, are European countries doing enough to stop these vicious attacks? And can this happen here? Here to discuss is former U.S. Army intelligence officer and former advisor to U.S. and NATO commanders in Afghanistan, Andrew Peek. Andrew, assess this situation, judging by the fact that Theresa May, less than 24 hours after the attack, identified his ideology and his background.
Right. I totally understood the British government's decision not to release the name of the terrorist because they wanted to arrest the rest of his network before they splashed the name everywhere and the network knew enough to flee. And I think that's what you saw with the overnight raids in Birmingham as they exploited some of the intelligence they received from the attack. However, I think it's impossible also not to feel like Theresa May's decision to say that he was British-born is kind of a PC jab at the U.S. president, Donald Trump, and his effort to limit or temporarily suspend immigration and refugees from certain high-risk countries.
Really? Because if you're doing a proper background check and he was being investigated by the MI5 and he was in another country, he would have been stopped.
Absolutely.
So, Andrew, let's look at this situation. British-born, under investigation, smaller country. We had our FBI director tell us there's been an investigation for ISIS-related activities in all 50 states. What does that mean for us?
Well, what it means for us is that we needed to elect a president who explicitly made the connection between terrorism, cultural identity, and immigration. And we did that. I mean, I think the problem for the Europeans is they are still at a point in their culture where it is impossible to have a reasonable debate about these issues. It's impossible to say anything other than mass immigration is amazing and every culture is the same. And they are at such a disadvantage of trying to enforce their own norms, enforce their own culture of tolerance on foreign communities that come to their countries, and that's something I think Americans have turned the corner on, and they really haven't yet.
What could this, I don't know much about this Muslim mayor, but he did come out after those IEDs were put in New York City and said, you got to expect these type of things to happen in a major city. What do you think about his mindset then, and what do you think it could be now?
I thought Sadiq Khan's comments were unbelievably stupid. I understand they're not about this attack, but radical Islamic terrorism wasn't a phenomenon that's existed always. It's not like the weather. It's not a fact of nature. It is a product of specific historical events that happened in Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and it's their problem, not ours.
Absolutely. Andrew Peek, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for your service.
Thanks so much.